Good morning, Anantalakshmi.
Namaste, madam. Good morning, madam.
Anantalakshmi garu, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you, sir.
Namaste, madam. Namaste, madam. మహేశ్వరి గారికి
చెప్పండి.
నమస్కారం అండి. చాలా సంతోషం.
Madam, please come on video also, madam. Padmaja madam.
Yes.
నమస్తే మేడం. మేడం చెప్పండి మేడం. ఇంకా టైం ఉంది కదా మేడం? ఇంకా టైం అవ్వలేదు మేడం మనం అనుకున్నది. 9:45కి స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం మేడం. 9:45. ఓకే మేడం.
సరే. పద్మజ గారండి, గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
నమస్తే మేడం. చాలా సంతోషం మేడం.
Dear participants, good morning to you all. Good morning to all the participants from different states of our country. Welcome to this national webinar on recent trends and applications of graph theory. And greetings from our college, Government Degree College, Pittapuram. Already Professor B. Maheshwari madam is online. Our principal madam is also online. Dr. David Kumar sir, Regional Joint Director of AP Commissionerate of Collegiate Education, will join us at a later stage to extend greetings. So we will straight away start with the principal's address in this national webinar. Hence I request Madam Padmaja, lecturer in mathematics and also vice principal of our college, to start the proceedings for this national webinar. Over to you, madam.
Thank you very much, sir. Hearty welcome to this national webinar. Dear friends and applications of graph theory. I welcome our beloved principal madam, Anantalakshmi garu, and then resource persons of today's program, Maheshwari madam.
Madam, you are on mute. Madam, you are on mute. Please unmute.
Sir, hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes, madam. Yeah.
Yes. So hearty welcome to all the participants to this wonderful webinar on national webinar on recent trends and applications of graph theory. With the permission of the madam, I start this program with a small prayer. Om गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजनीवती दीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Thank you very much. Now, I request our beloved principal madam to address this national webinar on recent trends and applications of graph theory. Over to Madam Principal Madam, Dr. V. Anantalakshmi garu.
Good morning to all. The Professor Maheshri Madam, my teacher, and Professor Sunanda sir will join at 9:55. He just messaged me. And the regional joint director of college education, he will be joined at any time because of his busy schedule. He is unable to join it now. And all the participants, thank you very much for showing interest in our webinar. Warm welcome to all of you for this webinar. Today, the webinar, recent trends and applications of graph theory. We all know that the graph theory is one of the branches of mathematics, which is developed during 1735 through an enthusiasm to solve a fuzzy, it is Königsberg bridge problem. So it is very interesting and application oriented. It has so many applications in different areas such as physical sciences, social sciences, biological sciences, and computer sciences, etc. After that, the study of domination in graph theory. After the study of domination graph theory initiated around 1850 to solve a specific problem in N by N chessboard. Domination graphs as applications in social, school bus routing, computer communication networks, facility location problems, etc. Recently, dominating functions in domination theory have received much attention. Today, we have two professors with more than 30 years of teaching experience and research experience with us. It's a great privilege for me to share some things about our professors with all of you. In the 38 years of her service, Madam doing along with teaching mathematics to students, she imparted organizing skills, life skills. She inspired the students with her motivational speeches and thought-provoking discussions. So many students, including me, came to this teaching profession with her inspiration only. Today, Madam explained us about the unidominating function of a three-regular wheel and unidominating, total unidominating, upper unidominating, so on. They are the recent trends in our dominating functions. Thank you very much, Madam, for accepting our invitation. Now, coming to the second professor, Professor B. Suryanarayana sir is working with a motto of helping the research scholars and students of graph theory to think innovatively and application oriented. In this webinar, sir is going to address some issues related to determining the minimum cardinality of a set of vertices of the network with reference to problem of current interest in communication and security. He will start with some basic requirements and end with large number of open problems. Most of them are real life problems with immediate applications, and some of them are mathematical interest. So thank you, sir. Sir will join us in 5 minutes. On behalf of Government Degree College, Pitaram, I am thankful to both the resource persons for accepting our invitation. And I'm also thankful to our staff for organizing this webinar in a befitted manner. Thanks to one and all. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, madam, for your introductory speech about your great guru who has inspired you and made you to come to this level. And also, I'm so happy that Surya Narayan sir also is very much interested in helping the teaching community. And then really, it is wonderful to have both the resource persons, particularly in mathematics. Now, the mathematics is the combination and integration of all sciences. So once again, thank you very much for your introductory speech. Now I request our beloved friend, Miss KNBSN Ishwari Madam Garu, lecturer in botany, to introduce our first resource persons, Professor B. Maheshwari Madam Garu, Department of Applied Mathematics, Sri Padmavati Mahila Viswavidyalayam. Over to Ishwari Madam Garu.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam. Good morning, everyone. I am KNVSN Ishwari from the Department of Botany, GDC Pittapuram. I have a very pleasant duty of introducing the distinguished speaker of this national webinar, retired Professor B. Maheshwari ma'am from Sri Padmavati Mahila Viswavidyalayam, Tirupati, to this August online gathering. She did her UC from DKW Degree College, Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati in the year 1975 and got first rank with distinction in MSc from Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati in 1997. She obtained first rank with distinction in MPhil also. She was awarded with PhD degree from Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati in 1983 and obtained her postdoc in 1983-84. She is specialized in the field of applied mathematics and rendered her service as a professor for 19 years and has a versatile teaching experience for a total period of 38 years. She was a recipient of State Best Teacher Award and was the only person in the state of Andhra Pradesh to receive Young Scientist Award in the field of mathematics. She was also conferred with JC's Outstanding Young Person Award and Rotary Vocational Award. Madam was elected as a president of Andhra Pradesh Society for Mathematical Sciences in December 2014 and 15. She served in various capacities like a Dean of Academic Affairs, Director for Distance Education Center, Chief Superintendent of University Exams, Head Department of Applied Mathematics, Department of Physics and Statistics, Convener for SPM. She was a BOS chairperson, member BOS of other universities within the state and outside the state, and has given talks around 55 in number. She was CSIR, JRF, SRF, and postdoc fellow, and her area of specialization is graph theory and applications. Madam successfully guided 21 PhD students and 1 student is still working under her, and 11 students were awarded with MPhil under her guidance. She got research expertise for 39 years. She completed major research project titled A Study of Product Graphs Arising from Kali Graphs and Arithmetic Graphs, funded by UGC in the period 2011 to 2014. She published 100 papers in international journals and 25 papers in national journals and organized 25 conferences and seminars. She acted as a coordinator for career awareness and recruitment drive conducted in 3 districts, Chittoor, Kadapa, and Nellore in 2008, and played a vital role in conducting youth exhibition on the theme of National Integration and Environmental Awareness campaign and adventurous programs like trekking at Booty. She was a life member of scientific institutions like Indian Mathematical Society, Indian Science Congress Association, Andhra Pradesh Society for Mathematical Sciences, International Society for Education, Research and Training. She also served as a district secretary, Rotary International District 3190 Bangalore, Assistant Governor, Rotary International District 3190 Bangalore, President of Rotary Tirupati, Greater Society Tirupati, President of Rotary Club Tirupati. We are honored by your presence in this webinar as a speaker, ma'am. Now I invite Professor Maheshwari ma'am to deliver her valuable lecture for us. Over to you, ma'am.
Dear participants, I can see Professor B. Surya Narayan sir also online.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Surya Narayan, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome to this national webinar.
It is so wonderful that Madam Maheshwari, Madam's got gold medals in all from degree, MSc, MPhil, and also many awards in CSIR. And also she has published more number of papers and all that. Really, my madam, principal madam, has undergone your guidance, madam. And it is so wonderful that I can see your reflection in her in communicating with all of us. It is so wonderful to have Guru in our webinar. So on behalf of all the members, once again, we salute you, madam. Thank you very much
Thank
for joining. And then now I request my
Thank
study
you.
madam Gary to start her program.
Good morning to all. Am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Greetings to the Joint Director, Principal of the College, Dr. V. Anantalakshmi, Vice Principal, Dr. Padmaja, Faculty of Mathematics, and dear participants. First, I thank Dr. Ishwari, I think from the Department of Botany, for a nice presentation of me. In fact, my talk is a part of Dr. V. Anantalakshmi PhD thesis, and the concepts which I am going to cover: unidomination, total unidomination, upper unidomination, total upper unidomination. These are the concepts suggested by Professor B. Suryanarayana sir. And also, I'm talking about these concepts for the 3 regularized V. This concept also is given by Professor B. Suryanarayana sir. Sir, we are thankful to you, sir, myself and Dr. V. Anantalakshmi for the support you have given in completing her PhD thesis. Shall I start?
Thank you, madam.
Yes, yes, madam.
Is it visible?
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
But I am not getting slideshow. The slide is visible.
Yeah.
Yes, madam.
The slide.
That's enough. Slideshow, I'm not getting. I don't know what happened to this. I'm not getting. I will try.
Yes.
I'm not getting that cup. I don't know what happened. Something happened to the laptop. Even the slide. Yeah. Yes, I could see. Is it okay now?
Now it's
Yes,
okay,
madam.
madam.
Yes, madam.
Yes. Unidomination, total unidomination, and upper unidomination of a 3 regularized V. As I have already said, these are the concepts suggested by Professor B. Suryanarayana sir. And of course, this is a very introductory one. Graph theory has established itself as an important mathematical tool in a wide variety of subjects, ranging from operations research and chemistry to genetics and linguistics. Theory of domination is an important branch of graph theory that has applications into several fields such as school bus routing, computer communication networks, facility location problems, locating radar stations problems, etc. Domination and its properties have been extensively studied by T.W. Haynes and others, and the references are given at the end. Now I will go for the definition of the unidomination. Let GVE be a graph, a function f from the vertex set V into the set of elements 0, 1 is said to be a unidominating function if sigma f of u, where the summation is taken over all the vertices u in the closed neighborhood of V, is greater than or equal 1 for all V belongs to V, and f of V is equal to 1. And sigma f of u, where u belongs to the closed neighborhood of V, is equal to 1 for all V in V, and f is equal to 0. I have said NV is the closed neighborhood of the vertex V. The unidomination number of a graph G of V is defined as minimum of f of capital V such that f is a unidominating function, and it is denoted by gamma U, G. U indicates that unidomination number. Here, f of v is equal to sigma f of u, where the summation is over all the vertices of capital V. And this is called as the weight of the unidominating function f. P-regularized wheel. This is also a new concept suggested by Professor B. Suryanarayana sir. Let W1n be a wheel with vertex set V is equal to U, which is the center, V1 dash, V2 dash, so on. Vn dash are the vertices of the other vertices of the wheel, where U is the center of the wheel and these are the remaining vertices, so that degree of U is equal to n, and this is the known definition of a wheel. Degree of Vi dash is equal to 3. Now, we are replacing U with a cycle Cn. Cn, look at Cn. N is the number of vertices. There are n plus 1 vertices in W1n. The remaining n vertices, of course, V1 dash, V2 dash, so on, Vn dash. So I am taking a cycle Cn. I am replacing the center U with the cycle Cn. And I am replacing each vertex Vi dash with a cycle C3. Now we associate with each vertex of Cn a cycle of C3 such that n vertices of Cn are associated to n cycles C3 respectively. Then we join one vertex of Cn to one vertex of C3 such that all vertices of Cn are joined to one vertex of associated C3s respectively. Then we join the remaining two vertices in each C3 to each vertex in the neighboring cycle respectively. This is called a three-regularized V formed from W1n. Now look at this graph. I have taken W16. It is having the center 1 and then center 1 and then remaining 6 vertices. What I have said, I have to replace this vertex. Since there are 6 remaining vertices, I have to replace this vertex by a cycle C6. This is the cycle C6. And each vertex, these 6 vertices, are replaced by 6 C3s. 6 C3s. Then what I am doing? I am joining each vertex of C6 to each cycle. Like this. And then what I am doing? I am joining these two vertices by, this is already C3 cycle. I am joining each vertex of respective C3s to other vertices of the respective C3s. This is what, like this. And this is the three regularized wheel. I am once again repeating, the center of the wheel is replaced by, if it is W16, the center of the wheel is replaced by C6, and these vertices are replaced by C3s, and then each vertex of the cycle is joined to each C3 respectively, and we are joining each cycle to the other cycles respectively. And this is the this is the three regularized wheel formed from W115. W115. This is C15. This is the cycle C15, and the remaining vertices are replaced by 50 C3s, and then we have joined the respective cycles.
Hello.
Let U1, U2, so on, Un be the vertices in Cn, and V1, V2, Vn, so on Vn be the vertices in the respective cycles C31, C32, so on C3n. The superfix indicate that there are n such cycles respectively which are adjacent to U1, U2, so on Un respectively. That is, the vertices of the cycle Cn are U1, U2, Un, They are joined to the C3s, all the n C3s, and that joining vertex is V1, V2. That joining vertex is V1, V2. And now in the cycle C1, C2, so on, C3, n cycles, there are two remaining vertices. One vertex is V1, I have said in the earlier slide. There are two vertices in each cycle. I am denoting them respectively by W1, W2, W3, W4, and so on. W2n minus 1 to W2n be the remaining vertices in the cycles C3, 1, C3, 2, so on, C3n respectively. Here, we all know these are elementary things here. Degree of ui is equal to degree of vi is equal to degree of w2i is equal to degree of w2i minus 1 is equal to 3. Let us see this. This you can see here. These are u1, u2, u3, so on. These are v1, v2, v3, so on. These are w1, w2. We started somewhere. W1, W2, W3, W4, and so on. If you can see this vertex, its degree is 3. That is, it is degree of ui. If you can see this vertex, its degree is 3. It is degree of vi. And these are the vertices vi. If you can see this vertex, these are W1, W2, and so on. Its degree is also 3. Like that. Now we define a function here from the vertex set V into the set of elements 0, 1 by f of u is equal to 1 when u is equal to vi for I is equal to 1 to n, otherwise it is 0. So what I am doing here, I am giving the functional value to the vertices vi. These are the vertices of the cycles which are joined to the vertices of the cycle Cn. These are the vertices of the cycle C3s. The cycle C3, these are the vertices of the cycle C3, which are joined to the vertices ui of the cycle Cn. For those vertices, I have given the functional value 1, and for the rest of the vertices, I have given the value 0. And by calculating the functional values f of u for all the vertices of the 3 regularized V, we can show that I am omitting the details. We can see that or show that f satisfies the conditions of a unidominating function. Now I am calculating f of v. F of v is sigma f of u, where the summation is taken over all the vertices u in V, is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 to n f of ui. These are the vertices of the cycle Cn. F of vi, these are the vertices of the C3 which are joined to ui and vi. So they are n in number. So sigma is equal to 1 to n f of ui plus f of vi plus sigma I is equal to 1 to 2n f of wi, because these are, each cycle is having 2 wi's. So there are n cycles, so that 2n wi. So sigma is equal to 1 to n wi, that is equal to, for these I have given the functional value 0, for this I have given the functional value 0, and for this I have given the functional value 1. So this is 0 plus n plus 0, that is equal to n. So by the definition of unidomination number, gamma u 3 regularized V is less than or equal to n, because this is the minimum value. So it is less than or equal to n. Since degree of u is equal to 3 for all u belongs to V, at most 3 vertices among the 4 vertices, that is a vertex and its 3 adjacent vertices, can have functional value 0. That is what we can see by the example. Therefore, for any unidominating function, f sigma u belongs to neighborhood of V, f of V is greater than or equal 1. That is, if I consider the functional values, so it can be greater than or equal 1. As there are 4 n vertices in 3 regularized V, there are n sets of such 4 vertices. Hence, for any unidominating function f, we have f of V greater than or equal 4n by 4, that is equal to n. So what we get here, thus gamma u 3 regularized V is greater than or equal n, and from the inequalities 1 and 2, we get the unidomination number of a 3 regularized V is equal to n. And now we are calculating the number of unidominating functions with the minimum weight n of a 3 regularized wheel is. I'm not going to give the proof. It is a very lengthy proof, but she is very successful in getting these values. Dr. V. Ananthalakshmi is very successful in getting these values. So the number of unidominating functions with minimum weight n of a 3 regularized wheel is 1 plus n plus n into 1 plus n plus n into sigma k is equal to floor n by 3, where k does not divide n minus k, seal n minus 2k minus 1 factorial by k factorial n minus 3k factorial plus n into k is equal to floor n by 3, where k divides n minus k, is C n minus 2k minus 1 factorial by k factorial n minus 3k factorial minus 1 plus sigma k is equal to 2, k divides n minus k, 2, floor n by 3, n minus k by k plus 1, where k is the number of UIs with functional value 1. In the beginning I have defined, where k is the number of UIs with functional value 1. So I'm not, as I have said, I'm not going for the proof. Now consider 3 regularized wheels formed from W115 for k is equal to 0 and for k is equal to 5. So you see here, as I have said earlier, these UIs are given value 0. These VIs are given the values 1. The rest are given the values 0. This is for the case k is equal to 0. K is the number of vertices where f of ui is equal to 0. So here k is equal to 0. Next, this is k is equal to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. K is the value, the number of UIs such that f of ui is equal to 1 here. So here k is equal to 5. And the remaining values will be accordingly given. As I have said, with each vertex there are 4 vertices which are having these values. So accordingly these given. You see, if it is started with I will start with this 0 0, then it is 1 0, and then 0 1, again 0 0, 1 0, 1 0, sorry, 1 0, and so on, 0 0. A systematic way of giving the values for this so that we can get the values. And there are 15 unidominating functions. There are 15 unidominating functions for k is equal to 0. In the earlier slide, I have given the number of unidominating functions. So for k is equal to 0, there are 15. And there are 308 unidominating functions for k is equal to 5. The proof is very, very, very interesting because from the statement or from the number of unidominating functions, she could calculate 308 like that. It's very, very interesting. And work is also interesting. Next, I will go to total unidominating functions and total unidomination number. Let GVE be a connected graph. A function f from the vertex set V to the set of elements 0, 1 is said to be a total unidominating function if sigma f of u, where u belongs to open neighborhood of V, greater than or equal 1 for all V belongs to V and f of V is equal to 1, and sigma f of u, where the summation is taken over all u in the open neighborhood of V is equal to 1 for V in V and f of V is equal to 0, where it is said NV is the open neighborhood of the vertex V. The total unidomination number of a connected graph GVE is defined as minimum of f of V, the functional values of all the vertices in the vertex set V. where F is a total unit dominating function. It is denoted by gamma suffix TU G, that is total unit dominating number of G. Here F of E, as it is said earlier, sigma F of U, where U varies over all the vertices of the vertex at V, is called as the weight of the total unit dominating function F. Now the total unit domination number of a three-regularized V is gamma U Cn plus n. Here gamma U Cn is unit domination number of the cycle Cn. These are all being calculated wherever the graphs we have used in this. Not only this is a part, in fact, a very small part of her thesis. So wherever the concepts are being taken, we have taken parts, we have taken these and all those. For all those structures, she has calculated gamma U Cn. Gamma, the unit domination number. So for Cn also, she has calculated unit domination number. So the total unit domination number of a three-regularized wheel is gamma U Cn plus n. So we define a function F from the vertex set V to the set of elements 0, 1 by F of V is equal to GV. So this G is the, here I have given, G is the unit dominating function of Cn. So F of V is equal to GV when V is equal to Ui. That is, for all the vertices of the cycle Cn, the functional value is equal to the functional value of G. Next, it is 1 for V is equal to Vi and G of Ui is equal to 1. So, it is for those vertices Vi for which the adjacent vertices to Vi from the cycle Cn is Ui, for which G of Ui is equal to 1, then for such vertices Vi, it is given the value 1. Next, the functional value is 1 when for the vertices W2i plus 1, where G of Ui and G of Ui plus 1 is equal to 0. That is, the vertices in Cn, Ui and Ui plus 1, whose functional values of G are 0, then the adjacent, it is in the C3 cycles W2i plus 1, I am giving the value 1. For the remaining ones, I am giving the value 0. Something missing? 1 minute. So we can show that here F is a total unit dominating function and the number of unit domination number is gamma U Cn plus n, because I have not given the proof here. The next theorem is the number of total unit dominating functions of a three-regularized V with minimum weight is the number of unit dominating functions of Cn with minimum weight gamma U Cn. So in the previous theorem, we have seen that the total unit dominating function whose minimum weight is gamma U Cn plus n. As the function f is given in terms of G, a unit dominating function of Cn, it is clear that the number of total unit dominating functions of a three-regularized wheel with minimum weight is equal to the number of unit dominating functions of Cn with minimum weight. Therefore, the number of total unit dominating functions of a three-regularized wheel are given in terms of the unit dominating functions of Cn. So these are the conditions there we get when we are calculating the unit domination number or unit dominating functions of Cn. These are the conditions. So it is 3 when n is congruent to 0 mod 3. It is n when n is congruent to 1 mod 3. And it is n into 1 plus floor n by 6 when n is congruent to 2 mod 3, n not equal to 8, and it is 12 when n is equal to 8. Now you can see this three-regularized V formed from a wheel W122. So this is C2 and the functional values are given at the end of the vertices, at the side of the vertices. These are the functional values. And 3 regularized wheel formed from W122. The total uni-domination number is, as we have said earlier, it is gamma U C22, gamma U C22 plus 22, because N is gamma U Cn plus N. So gamma U C22 plus 22, gamma U C22 is C22 by 3, which the value is 8 plus 22, 30. So there are 22. This is the total uni-domination number, but I have given earlier the number of total uni-dominating functions in the previous slide. So there are 22 total uni-dominating functions of the 3 regularized wheel formed from W122, having the minimum weight, this is the minimum weight, having the minimum weight 30. The functional values of a total uni-dominating functions of a 3 regularized wheel formed from W115 are denoted at the corresponding vertices. These are 0, 0, 1, 0 for C15, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1 and so on. And then the respective VIs and WIs are given these values. So 3 regularized wheel formed from W115. Total uni-domination number of the 3 regularized wheel formed from W115 is, as we have said earlier, gamma U Cn plus N. So gamma U C15 is 5 plus 15 is 20. The number of total uni-dominating functions of the 3 regularized wheel formed from W115 having the minimum weight 20 or 3. So this is the 3 regularized wheel formed from W18, and the values, functional values are denoted at the corresponding vertices. So this is C8. For C8 we are giving the values. This is C8. For C8 we are giving the values 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. And for VIs 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. And for WIs, accordingly, we have given the functional values 0 and 1. So the total uni-domination number of the 3 regularized wheel formed from W18 is gamma U C8 plus 8. Gamma U C8 is 4 plus 8, that is equal to 12. So this is the total uni-domination number 12. So the number of total uni-dominating functions of the 3 regularized wheel formed from W18 having the minimum weight 12 or 12. These are being calculated. I have given a theorem. According for n is congruent to 0 mod 3, n is congruent to 1 mod 3, like that. In that theorem, this number is coming. Minimal uni-dominating function. Let G be a graph. These are all the usual definitions in graph theory for the functions. Mostly we have dealt with dominating functions, total dominating function, and various domination functions. An uni-dominating function f from the vertex V into the set of elements 0, 1 is called a minimal uni-dominating function if for all G less than f, G is not an uni-dominating function. So based on this, we are going to define upper uni-domination number. The upper uni-domination number of a graph GVE is defined as maximum of f of V, where f is a maximum of f of V, where f is a minimal uni-dominating function. As earlier it is said that f of capital V is the functional values, the summation of the functional values of all the vertices U in V. The upper uni-domination number of G is denoted by capital gamma suffix U, G. The upper uni-domination number of a 3 regularized wheel formed from W1n is 5n by 2 if n is even, and floor 5n by 2 minus 1 if n is odd. So let W1 be, I am giving a little bit proof. I think I am defining the function. Let W1n be a wheel and Cn be the cycle, replacing the center of W1n. and C31, C32, so on. C3n are the cycles, replacing the n vertices in W1n respectively, as we have said earlier. Let U1, U2, Un be the vertices in Cn, and V1, V2, so on, Vn be the vertices in C31, C32, so on, C3n respectively, which are adjacent to U1, U2, so on, Un respectively. This is being said, W1, W2, W3, W4, and so on, W2n minus 1, W2n, with the remaining vertices in C31, C32, so on, C3n respectively. And here it is obvious that degree of Ui is equal to degree of Vi is equal to degree of W2i is equal to degree of W2i minus 1 is equal to 3. So here we have two cases. That's what given in the theorem also. Case 1, let n be an even number. Now we define a function here from V to the set of elements 0, 1, where f of u is equal to 1 when u is equal to ui. When u is equal to ui. For I is equal to 1 to so on, n. U is equal to, for also the vertices, u is equal to vj, w2j minus 1 and w2j. I am giving the functional value 1 for all vertices of the cycle Cn, u1, u2, so on, un. And also for the vertex vj and w2j minus 1, w2j, where j is an odd number. Where j is an odd number. That is for v1, and then this is w1, w2, and so on. J is an odd number. v3, and accordingly it is 3. w5 and w6 and so on. Otherwise we are giving the functional value 0. Now define a function g from v to the set of elements 0, 1 by g of u is equal to f of u for all u belongs to v, u not equal to uk and uk plus 1, where k is some element in this set of elements 1 to so on n, and for these particular vertices uk and uk plus 1, this k is some element, it can be anything. So for these vertices uk plus 1, I am defining the functional values 0. So my function gu coincides with the function f, my function gu coincides with the function f, except at 2 points uk and uk plus 1, for which the functional value of g is given 0. So obviously g is less than f. So we can show that g is not a minimal unidominating function, so that f becomes a minimal unidominating function with f of v is equal to, this is capital V, that is the weight of the function f, is equal to 5n by 2. Let n be an odd number, then we are defining the function f by f is equal to 1, f is equal to 1, for u is equal to ui, where I is equal to 1 to so on n minus 2, where I is equal to 1 to so on n minus 2. That is, in the cycle Cn, for n minus 2 vertices, I am giving the functional value 1. And then again, I am giving the functional value 1 for u is equal to vj, w2j minus 1, when j is an odd number, j not equal to n. And then again, I am giving the functional value 1 for u is equal to w2n minus 3. And then again 1 for u is equal to w2j when j is an odd number. Otherwise, I am defining the functional value 0 for the rest of the vertices. This function is similar to the function f defined in case 1, in the previous one, except for the vertices un minus 1, un, because I have not given the values here. In the first one, I have not given for un and un minus 1. So except for the vertices un minus 1 un, and then vn, w2n minus 3, w2n minus 1. So if I define a function g as g of u is equal to f of u, for all u belongs to v, u not equal to w2n minus 3. So here u is given for w2n minus 3, the functional value 1. So I am defining g of u is equal to f of u for u not equal to w2n minus 3. And for this w2n minus 3, it is not given. G of u will be, that is G of W2n minus 3 will be 0. But here f of u is 1. So obviously G is less than f. So we can show that G is not a minimal unidominating function. So that f becomes a minimal unidominating function with f of v is equal to floor 5n by 2 minus 1. The number of minimal unidominating functions with the maximum weight of a 3 regularized V is 2 when n is even, and it is n when n is odd. So here also I am not giving the proof because the proofs are very lengthy proofs, because exhausting all the possibilities of calculating the functional values for all the vertices of these Cn and then C3 cycles and then adjacent vertices V1, V2, so on, Vn, and then calculating the number of possibilities of existence of number of functions, the number of minimal unidominating functions. So exhausting all the possibilities of existence of minimal unidominating functions, the proofs are very lengthy and I have not given here. Upper total unidomination number of a 3 regularized wheel. The upper total unidomination number of a 3 regularized wheel formed from W1n is capital gamma Tu is equal to 3n. So consider the 3 regularized wheel formed from W1n. We define a function f from v to 0, 1 by f of u is equal to 1 for u is equal to vi. W2i minus 1, W2i, I is equal to 1 to n, and 0 for u is equal to ui, I is equal to 1 to so on n. And if we define a function g from v to 0, 1 by gu is equal to f of u, where u not equal to vk, and for u is equal to vk, I will define g of vk is equal to 0, then obviously g is less than f. And we can show that G is not a minimal total unidominating function, so that f becomes a minimal total unidominating function with f of v is equal to 3n. And now consider n is equal to 8, and clearly 8 is congruent to 2 mod 3. The functional values of a minimal unidominating function defined in case 1 of theorem 3.1 are denoted at the corresponding vertices in figure 1. Here we have given that 1, the functional value 1 for all the vertices of Cn, for all the vertices of Cn. So upper unidomination number of a 3 regularized wheel formed from W18 is 5n by 2, that is equal to 20. And there are 2 minimal unidominating functions with the maximum weight 20. This is the maximum value. That is capital gamma u is the upper total unidomination number, that is 20, and there are 2 such minimal unidominating functions with the maximum weight 20. I think they say it is duplicated slide. Say. Next we consider that is 3 regularized wheel formed from W115 is given in the next slide. So this is W. This is the 3 regularized wheel formed from W115. So the cycle is C15. So the upper unidomination number of this is gamma u floor 5n by 2 minus 1, that is equal to 37 minus 1 is equal to 36. There are 15 minimal unidominating functions with the maximum weight 36. The next theorem is the number of minimal total unidominating functions of a 3 regularized wheel with the maximum weight is 4 when n is congruent to 0 mod 3, 1 when n is congruent to 1, 2 mod 3. Now consider the minimal total unidominating function f with the maximum weight 3n given by f of u is equal to 1 for u is equal to vi, W2i minus 1, W2i. These are the 2 vertices, or in other words, these are the 3 vertices of a cycle Ci. These are the 3 vertices of a cycle Ci, and is equal to 0 for u is equal to ui 1 to so on n. The remaining vertices are nothing but the vertices of the cycle Cn, u1, u2, so on un. So for those vertices, I have given the function value 0. So to show that f is a minimal total unidominating function. By rotating the functional values of f, taking ui, vi, w to i minus 1, w to I as one group, that is, this ui is given. This ui is given the functional value 0 and vi is given the functional value 1 and this is 1 and this is 1. As one group 0, 1, 1, 1, we get the same function. Therefore, there is one and only one minimal total unidominating function with the maximum weight 3n. I think this is what? Upper total unidominating, right. The same example we are considering n is equal to 8, the functional values of the minimal total unidominating function defined in theorem 4.1 of a 3 regularized wheel formed from W18 are given at the corresponding vertices. So it is all for ui's we have given zeros and for all vi's we have given ones and for all wi's we can easily see for all wi's we have given 1. So upper total unidomination number of this 3 regularized wheel is 24 and there is only one total unidominating function with maximum weight. That's all. These are the references. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam.
Yes.
It is so wonderful to go through this wonderful graph 3 applications. And I'm very happy to see that it's